But
So back to your favorite part of the show, which has to do with Bran.
they had sex.
Which has to do with Bran as well. Like, okay, so let me just get it. Let's get into it, okay?
So hey.
Hello.
We survived it. Barely.
For now.
Barely.
For now.
It is Monday. It is the Monday after the season 7 finale of Game of Thrones. And I mean, she doesn't have any edges. I can barely breathe. I mean, I feel like this season finale was so iconic. It was amazing. It was just so many moments. I feel like I could dissect this.
Let me tell you.
Dissect this episode forever. I feel like if it was one episode of Game of Thrones I had to watch forever,
This one.
this would be it.
This is the one.
Would be it.
You know what kills me? Can we just touch on something else? Just for a hot second, right? It kills me how it has not been 24 hours since the airing of the season finale. People are already complaining about season 7. I just don't understand it. Did you not witness the epicness? Made that up. Of last night's episode? Like, edges are snatched. There are balls of weave, tumbleweed rolling in the streets.
Tumbleweeds in every city across
Yes,
the
across the world.
So this was The Dragon and the Wolf was the name
Yes.
of the title of
Yes.
the episode. And to kick things off, the main big thing around this episode was everybody really having this iconic meeting about, look, we all need to band together. The Great War is upon us. We all need to put our differences aside and join forces.
Because, you know, the what is it, Westeros Suicide Squad or whatever, you know, they did successfully capture a White Walker. And I just found it crazy. So maybe you can answer this for me.
Okay.
The guy that's with Cersei, who's her protector, Boo, is the Hound's brother.
Yes.
What did the Hound mean when he said, you know what's coming for you?
I cannot answer that. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he is talking about like the Lord of Light and he really believes in that.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's talking about that. I don't know if he's talking about because who brought him back? Didn't he like die and stuff?
I believe so. Yeah. And
so
the witch
is it like
redheaded witch?
coming?
Now we didn't see her in this episode.
Yeah, she bounced like a couple episodes.
I know.
So
I strongly believe that next season we'll wrap that up. We'll see her.
We have to type a lot of loose ends. But it was a lot of reunions with those two, with Cersei and Tyrion coming together again, with Euron and Theon coming together, and Brienne and Jaime coming together. It was just a lot of reunions, a lot of like side eyes, a lot of like, it was so many things in the subtext of this.
Can we just take a sidebar to discuss the epic interest of Daenerys Targaryen?
First of all,
Let me say, yes, Cersei was salty. She was the queen of salty balls because not only did she show up on her dragon, late, entrance, on point, interest on 100, okay? Then she had on this like classic, sickening Balenciaga-esque jacket with the side.
Okay.
You know what, Danny?
Braids fleek.
Yes, always. She,
like, who's your stylist?
okay. John was there. Everyone was there.
They're at this meeting. They bring out the white. It's like the first time in like any time Cersei showed like a little ounce of fear. Like she literally looked shook. Seeing this white charge at her, and just for a little bit, you know, she showed a little bit of humanity about that. You know what? I'm seeing this. Let's band together. And she's just like, John, bend the knee to me, and we can do this. But then John,
go ahead, sexy stupid.
Okay,
that's what I like to call it. Go ahead, sexy stupid, because I am quite sure that there were a bunch of people that was like, oh my god, that is so sexy that he is standing by his girl. But at the same time,
not the right time to stand by your girl.
This was not the right time. Like you could have been like, babe, you know I ain't mean that.
Exactly.
You know I
We'll forward to the side later.
you know I would never actually bend the knee to Cersei Lannister. But it's just Cersei reminds me of, I don't know if it's politically correct to say this. However, it's our show, so I don't care.
It's our conversation.
Cersei Lannister reminds me of Kourtney Kardashian. I'm just saying. Her whole attitude. Because Kourtney has like this whole Ice City Queen-ness about her. Like, she just doesn't have like a caring bone in her body. And it makes me wonder, like, how are you a mother? How are you nurturing children?
But I feel like in parallel to Kourtney, she only breaks that wall for her kids. Like, to anything else, she's very like, I don't care. Why are we doing this? This is so stupid.
I know.
But when it comes to her babies, it's like she'd rather be in the house with her kids. She would choose everything over her kids. So I feel like Cersei, her whole thing is like her family. That's why she really is not banging with Tyrion. Because she's like, look, you killed our dad. You played a huge part in all my kids getting killed.
No, so I disagree. I strongly disagree with that one.
That's her view.
First of all, Joffrey, whatever, was a huge monster. And the reason he was a monster and his attitude, he would have been the next Mad King. Why? Because of incest. We'll get into that later.
I mean, do you think incest makes you crazy?
Yes, and it's been proven. It's been scientifically proven. I'll drop a link down below. Scientifically proven that it can cause you to go mad, like schizophrenia, things of that nature. And it causes that imbalance in your brain, and you'll go mad. Joffrey. I mean, and it's so crazy because y'all actually were in the same amniotic fluid together, ma'am. Like, that is the part that I can't get with. I will say that when she saw Tyrion, she just had like a little glimpse of, okay, you are my brother and everything else. And I thought that was a shame because I do recall feeling bad for Tyrion a couple seasons ago. He has always had to live with, I am alive, and the reason I'm alive caused my mother to die. So, and that's something that he's always had to live with. And then you putting even more stuff. Your father was an asshole. He was a conniving asshole. Somebody would have killed him eventually. It just so happened to be Tyrion. And it's a shame because that's still your son. But that's the way of, and to me, it's still the way of the world to turn their back on even your family that you don't view as perfect.
A big scene with that was Tyrion and Cersei kind of had this little confrontation. Tyrion went to her alone because he's like, I'm the only one who can speak to her. So they had this little conversation about like trying to get her to change her mind. So that's when Cersei was like all in her feelings, talking about you killed my kids, you killed father. It's just like really was a douchebag. Yeah, just going to town trying to make him feel as bad than he already did. And that's when he found out that Cersei is pregnant. So that little thing is just like
I told you she got a bump.
I mean, I feel
she
like...
She has a slight baby bump.
I mean, I feel like because she wasn't drinking wine. I mean, please send me a screenshot of this bump. Because
it was like, boop. It was like a little pooch.
It's like, that's like...
Like a little pooch, like a little food baby. But it was like a little slight, boop.
But, Cersei tricked us all. And she made us think that she's like, you know what? You're right. You made me see reason. And she agreed to team up with the other armies and the other families to fight the Great War that is heading to Westeros. But that was all a little jokesy.
And so was Euron's. This is the only thing I've ever been terrified of, and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, boy, shut up, sit down. Why can't a dragon just burn him to death? Like
next season.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Fingers are crossed. Euron has went back to Braavos to the Iron Bank, which of all the banks of all the cities, as you know, it is the richest. And Cersei has this mad plan to let everyone go and fight the White Walkers, and she's just gonna fight whoever is left. I mean, so
why do you think it's gonna work?
I'm confused by this plan, ma'am. Because here's the thing. Either way, to me, you lose. Here's why. Because if they go and Daenerys and her dragons and the Dothraki and everyone else in Westeros goes and fights and defeats them, because that's quite an army. We've seen all the White Walkers. It is quite an army going on. That means that they have strength and they have strength in numbers. So what makes you think that you're going to be able to beat them? And she still has 2 dragons. However, flip side of that, if they are defeated by the White Walkers, miss, you saw this. You saw they cut the thing in half. It was still alive. They cut off the hand. It was still alive. Yes, and now they have a White Walker dragon.
Okay.
And that is hard. That was I almost cried. I almost cried because now Dany and the other 2 dragons will have to kill Viserion, and that.
It's war, man. But that's what Jaime said before he left. Made the very smart decision, and finally, then that was the last straw for him. Like leaving Cersei's side when she figured out that all of that was a trick, and he wasn't on the inside of it. He's like, look, like this is serious. You've seen it. Like you seen it. Like what else do you need to prove that this is like a danger? And she's just like, I'm just gonna fight whoever's left. And he's like, look, I'm getting on my horse. I'm taking my gold hand, and I'm heading north. So
he's heading north. His soldiers are also heading north because remember he gave that command, and it starts snowing. I don't know about the rest of the world, right? I equate snow in southern Westeros as like someplace like Panama getting snow, Brazil getting snow, someplace like below the equator where it never snows and it just starts snowing, and it's like, what? What is going on here? Like this is not a normal. No, this is not right. This is not right. And everybody is just like, oh, well, you're on an island. I'm just going to go to this island and wait it out. Yeah, but if they're bringing snow, snow brings cold, cold brings ice. Who's to say that they're not just going to freeze the ocean? Yeah. And then you'll be on this island and you'll starve. And it'll be cold and nothing will grow. And what are you going to do?
It's like the only option is to band together and fight the army. But no. People just don't want to listen to reason.
In the end, Cersei will die. She will probably, give birth to this bastard child. I, however, hope that Jaime finds someone. I don't know. It seems like Brienne has quite a few men.
Okay.
Yes, girl. Because that's
Mars.
She has Jaime. Jaime feeling her. Don't. Okay, she got that short little blonde cut. Jaime is feeling her. The Hound, okay.
Yes, it's some sexual.
Yes, it's a lot of tension. And even the Hound, I love it. He showed that this was a very sensitive episode. Everybody was showing their sensitive side. Yes. He showed his sensitive side. Brienne let him know that Arya was perfectly fine and that she's become quite the murderer. And he was like, that's my girl. Look at you. Having like you the Uncle Hound. Go ahead, Uncle Hound. And then we have Tormund. How am I pronouncing that? Tormund?
Yeah.
I love him. I love him. I hope him and Brienne have big old ginger babies.
You mean hopefully if he makes it out of with that avalanche of ice.
Every single piece of that show last night was so intense and you had to pay attention because it's like they just bought everything from 6 seasons full circle. Every single thing. From season 1, from episode 1, from Rhaegar Targaryen to Lyanna Stark. Everything is just coming full circle.
And it's definitely episode
the 3 remaining Stark children.
You need to see multiple times.
Yes, you have to.
Just one viewing, you will miss stuff, and to see it again is just to dissect it and dissect the lines, and dissect the mini plots that's going on. But one of the huge things that, of course, it was a lot of things that trended, but the huge thing was the Stark sisters. Their father and mother would be so very proud of their girls because their finger got fingered.
Yes.
He got it.
I almost forgot that he did tell Ned Stark, "You should have never trusted me." I forgot that. I've never been a fan of Littlefinger. I've never tried to hide it. I've always hated him. I am living for the fact that he got exactly what was coming to him for what he did to their aunt. He pushed her out that circle, even though she was crazy.
She was nuts.
But still, she still didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to her son.
I think he was saying like he poisoned them. Like it was that who they were speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like because he was like betrothed to Sansa at one point. Like they were supposed to get married.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like the last time I saw him was when Littlefinger gave him like that bird. And something happened. Yeah, something happened. I don't know. I mean, obviously.
And then he became the overseer of the Vale.
Yeah, so something happened to the son, and I mean, the whole season was putting up Arya and Sansa against each other.
Right.
Littlefinger was doing it. He was just basically manipulating the girls. And for a long time, I thought like, oh my god, like one of these sisters gonna die. I mean, obviously Sansa, because Arya's a G. I feel like she was really going. She was
that
going to take her
should be
sister
when
out.
she gave her them faces.
Yeah, well, she's gonna take her sister out, but they fooled us all, thank God.
Oh,
And Sansa had called Arya into the meeting room,
mm-hmm.
and then they went ahead and flipped the script on.
Yes, and went
on
with the murder and the deceit and the lies and treasonous ways and everything else. And he was like, "I am the protector of the Vale. I command you to take me out of here."
And they said,
I think, no, that's going to be a no for me.
Yeah,
It's going to be a no.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It was the most satisfying scene I think in Game of Thrones history because these Stark kids have been through so much. So for them, and I feel like at the hands of Littlefinger, he orchestrated a lot of their downfall. So for them to for them to band together in this moment in their house to take him out, it was like orgasmic.
He had their father killed. Then he tried to play protector to Sansa, which I always found creepy. It was like you couldn't have her mother. I forgot how, because they did mention it in I believe season 1 or season 2. They went back and kind of mentioned how Sansa's parents got together because he was always in love with Sansa's mother. And I guess they made it so that Sansa resembles her mother or whatever. That is the creepiest thing ever. Like, so you're gonna date me because I look like my mom? Like, yo, seriously? That is the most I can't move on. Okay? Straight up perv alert. Like, come on now.
So, we have to talk about my favorite moment because you hate it.
Can I bring up one sidebar real quick? Why is it when Bran has his flashbacks, he can walk? Did you notice that?
I mean, I feel like that's just like an out-of-body experience, I feel like.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really like him, I guess. It's like...
So, back to your favorite part of the show, which has to do with Bran.
They had sex!
Which has to do with Bran as well. Like, okay, so let me just... Let's get into it, okay? So Bran is having a conversation with Sam, and Sam is letting him know, like, no, Rhaegar's marriage was annulled. I was transcribing a private diary. The man had no reason to lie.
Wasn't.
It was Gilly who was doing that. Yeah, like Sam, sit down. But again, he had a good point. The priest had no reason to lie about the annulment and the secret marriage between Rhaegar Targaryen. And he was like, if you're the three-eyed raven, can you see it?
And he said, hold up.
Wait, let me go back.
Yeah.
Lillian Stark, my aunt, yes. She was in love with him and she was never kidnapped. They ran off together and secretly got married. Yes. So here's the thing, backstory. Jaime killed the Mad King, but to me that was BS. I do not think that he deserves the title as a Kingslayer because the Mad King was already mad. It wasn't hard to kill him. It's not like you had to battle his bull or something like that. So, whatever. And of course, then we have Robert Baratheon who moves in and Cersei Lannister who comes in. And so the Lannisters become a part of like a Westeros hierarchy, whereas they weren't before. They had a little place, but not where they are now. And that's where like Ned's family, and he's best friends with Robert and everything else. So Liliana and Rhaegar meet at some type of event.
Some kiki.
Yeah, some kiki. But Liliana was betrothed to someone else. I believe it was Robert. I would have to go fact check that. I believe that Liliana was betrothed to Robert Baratheon, which would have made her queen. And
it would make sense why he went so crazy.
Yeah. And Robert wanted Liliana back. And so, remember the flashback with last season of a young Ned Stark fighting these Targaryen? Like, why are you guarding this tower? Like, what's in this tower? Like, your king is dead. The children are dead, but we know Daenerys and her brother survived and everything else. And then they go and Ned finds her and she whispers. And can I tell you, I had my TV on full blast and never heard what she said.
No.
We never knew what she said. He just shows up with this bastard. And even going back to, what was it, season 1, we see the wife, why can't I think of her name? Caitlyn Stark saying, my husband was in battle, he came back with this bastard child. And she was like, I could really not even look at him. It was a year before I could look at him. But over time, I learned to love him again.
I was thinking about that because, like, okay.
He never told her.
He didn't, which I think he should have. But then I was just thinking about, obviously she got, was able to forgive him because he was like Rob's age. And then they had 4 kids after
that.
So it's like, she kind of got over it. But I'm sure like she never really banged with Jon because he was, the bastard of Winterfell.
Right. He was the bastard of Winterfell. But now we know that Jon is actually not a bastard. Jon is a legitimate son. And Jon is the true heir to the Iron Throne. Jon is a Targaryen.
So that was just like the climactic, Jon and Dany finally, knocked it out the box for us all. Like, everybody was just losing their...
But why was Tyrion in the hallway?
I don't know. Like, people were saying, and even like the cast, they had, of course, like after each episode, they dissect the scenes, and everybody was saying, like, is Tyrion jealous? Is he in love with Dany? Like, what was that little creep in the hallway? Like, ear pressing the door situation going on? But he was like, his look was coming from a look of concern. Like, he's just like, this is not going to end well for them. Like, he thinks like, he knows what's going down in that room. And he's He's like,
Tyrion been around the block.
He's like, this is not a good idea. Like, and people were saying like, maybe he can smell incest somehow away. Like, maybe he knows. Like,
I don't think he knows. I don't think a lot of people know.
Don't know. So it just wrapped up with the White Walkers and the ice fire dragon. Like, I don't know what he is now.
I don't think that's fire though.
Yeah, it's like they busted the wall.
It's some type of weird ice. I don't know what. And can I tell you, I think that this was when, for me, I always knew that they were a powerful army.
The White Walkers.
Yes, but when they did the aerial, like kind of drone-esque view of the army, I was like,
a lot of them.
The Dothraki stayed ready, but even I don't think that they ready for this. I don't.
Yeah.
Sir, exactly how much Dragonstone did you mine?
Okay, I don't think
I just need to know that.
Like,
how much Dragonstone did you actually mine?
And I didn't see him bring any back to the boat. Because when they came back, he went to Eastwatch to go on his Suicide Squad mission. So it's like,
well, maybe they working on it. Maybe somebody somewhere is working on it. The wall came down. Viserion brought the wall down. The White Walker. I think that I really feel like
right on that dragon, like he in a whole new world.
I feel like it'll be the White Walker and Dany,
like
on dragons, having it out. I can see the fire and the ice clashing, but she has 2, and I think that's going to be heartbreaking. They're going to have to kill Viserion.
Yeah, so now we're jumping ahead. Let's go into season 8. Season 8 is the finale, the series
finale.
And like we said before, it is supposed to be feature length episodes.
2 hours.
So 90 minutes to up to 2 hours, just because they have a lot of ground to cover before they wrap things up. And production starts in October for the final season. That's why it's going to take so long for us to get that final season, because it's going to take a long time to shoot all this stuff. But what do you think? Like, what are your season 8 like top moments? Like, what would you want to happen?
I personally would love to see Cersei die in some type. This is so horrible. Oh my god. But anyway, I would personally love to see Cersei die in some type of very public and demeaning way, because of just like she's been a cunt for like all these seasons, and I'm just over Cersei. However, I do hope that Jaime. I don't know. I kind of hope that Jaime and Brienne get together, you know, and I do. I don't know why. Even ever since they took his hand and Brienne was there and she like kind of helped him and, you know, everything else, I've just seen something between those two. I just feel like he's just been kind of like Cersei is his comfort zone. He's known Cersei all his life, literally. So it's been that.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, they talk about a child that's born that is going to save everyone. Like eventually sit on the Iron Throne, and that's going to be like the leader that's going to change everything about Westeros. I am hoping that is Dany and Jon's son. I have come to accept the fact that even though I don't believe in incest, that is their way.
Who does?
I know. I mean, that is their way, and that's his aunt. And you know, had they had known anything, yeah, it probably still would have worked out that way.
I don't know. I don't think they would have willingly banged if they knew they were related.
Why? She was gonna marry her brother.
I mean, she didn't want to. I mean, I feel like
because he was an asshole. But however, and then you have to think that her father was cousins with her mother, but her father's parents were sister and brother. It's probably why he was crazy. But I'm just saying, like that's the way of Targaryens. Targaryens only marry Targaryens, so the Targaryen bloodline is very, very thick.
That's what they all look like.
Not my cup of tea, but you know, whatever. So I do hope that Jon dropped the good one and Dany is pregnant. And Dany is pregnant. Jon, do it for
Daenerys.
Yes, do it for the gram. I would like for the Stark children to go back to being like, just live a nice, as normal as a life of what they would call normal now. Find their normal. And you know, I would also like to see the wolves come back.
Wolf, or maybe
wolves, because Jon's wolf is still out
ghosts.
there.
So it's like,
yeah, I would like to see
and make new direwolves.
Yeah, I would like to see the wolves come back. The two that's left.
Mm-hmm. We still have to see what happened with Theon. He beat up whoever that guy was. I guess the leader of the Greyjoy.
He was just like a general.
The rest that were left to basically save his sister. So I hope Yara is still alive, because you know I feel like Theon is really trying to atone for a lot of the mistakes that he made in his life. So this is like his last big thing. Is like, look, I'm taking this beating because I want to go save my sister. Like, can y'all please help me? So hopefully in season 8 he does get to his uncle and somehow is able to save Yara. Hopefully she's still alive in whatever way. I feel like she's a strong woman, so I don't think Euron can easily break her.
Right.
So I would hope that she is still semi-alive, and when Theon and the crew goes to get her. So I hope that we see some resolution in that. Of course, the Starks are my baby. They were saying like the story was kind of centered around this family. So thank God they survived this season. Like all of them are still intact. So I would hope that season 8, just please, no more. This family has been through 5 seasons of just like crap. Like, just please, can they at least have a happy ending? I know Game of Thrones is not really known for the happy endings. Like nobody gets what they want in this world. But I would just hope at least one family just make it to the end good.
There's so many conspiracy theories.
About what?
Pick some. Daenerys might kill Jon so that she's really on the Iron Throne. Cersei's baby might come out like Tyrion because it's her karma. That would be good.
Really good. Cersei, right?
Yeah. I mean, just different things about like, you know, the little thing. Tyrion might be in love with Daenerys and everything. That's why he's kind of
and they were saying like Tyrion like might have played Daenerys and everybody, like he really in that meeting he like joined sides with Cersei.
Yeah,
so.
that he's going to betray her.
So obviously this was a jam-packed episode. This was a jam-packed A and B combo. So we would love to know what you guys think, and we really want to keep this conversation going because we think we got to do something to hold us over for a year until we get the final season. I hope they're gonna be ready.
Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, next week, Power season finale.
Bye.
Bye.